Monday's ARC roundtable, the chair in the state of the industry hadn't seen a transition, the size, scope, and complexity of LIBOR, right? And I'd have to agree. As of today, we're 939 days out from the sunset of LIBOR. My topic today is navigating the LIBOR documentation challenge. And the first thing maybe we all can realize is that this is not ripe for manual processing. As the group is talking about in the last presentation, there is some need for automation. I think reasonable experts could have a different opinion as to whether or not it's AI or machine learning or just old-fashioned automation. But it's just too big of a problem to be handled manually. I'm going to show today an approach that Pendo is taking that fills in the digital gaps, and then in partnering with Vorum using Appian, helps execute the remediation workflow. The first one that we're going to look at is a syndicated loan or credit agreement that we pulled from the SEC database Edgar, right? So it's just random. Okay, Biomet deal, it's a medical device. I have the hyperlink there on the bottom. I think this is public information. I didn't have any special access. So the demo that we're going to do today, we're going to travel the life cycle of two deals. One where there is agreement and one where there's not. I just want to show you the two paths that they can take. So what's the first step? You got to get these contracts into a digitized system. So we're bringing them on as PDFs. They're still not machine readable. They're soft copy, but you can't do anything with it. You can't get them into a table, right? So how well does Pendo get these documents in? For one client recently, we were bringing in 250,000 contracts per day, and that limit was just set by the client. It wasn't a Pendo limit, okay? So I'm putting this out as a production scale solution. So on the surface, this slide doesn't look all that appealing, but I'd say this is where the magic starts. Start to bring the information into Pendo. So now here's the Biomet deal in Pendo. Pendo strips out the unnecessary formatting. It gets rid of the images that you just don't need, and you just stick with the facts. Now you drop a grid down the left-hand side. So it's starting to look a little bit like Excel. We're starting to structure it. And here's Biomet. It's 366 pages. You'll see that we've pulled in the tombstone here. Pendo has ingested the documents. That's how we bring them in. We've indexed them, which was the grid I showed you on the previous page. Okay. We have a sense we're working. We're in the right ballpark. We're in the right row, right? Because we know that these are LIBOR documents. Now we create a thing that we're just calling a data shopping list, right? So it's pretty easy here. We're adding, is this LIBOR or not? Do I see a paragraph that looks like it describes a fallback? Okay. You know, who's the admin agent, the primary lender, the participants, the deal amount, the currencies? We've listed the things that we want to shop for. And I'm going to say it gets a little techie here, but this is as techie as it gets. Okay. There's a script on the left-hand side. So everything that you listed, you want to go shopping for who's the admin agent. On the left-hand side, there's a script with drop-downs and options and some pre-configured mappings, right? That the analyst can go in and say, I want to look for admin agent. I'm going to look for the first mention of admin agent, click. And the yellow that you're seeing here on the right-hand side gives you visual confirmation that you're clicking on the right data element, okay? So I want to see that it's a credit agreement. I call it up and you can see it highlighted. I'm looking for Biomet. Click, it's Biomet. So it's very much a belt and suspenders approach. On this screen, we're going in and we're taking the whole paragraph that talks about LIBOR in BAU and LIBOR in fallback. We're now getting ready to pass the baton to Appian. And we're just kind of recapping what we did in the extraction. We've ingested the documents, hopefully in the future directly from the SEC database or directly from, FileNet, Documentum, whatever storage system your firm uses. We've indexed them. We've done the data shopping list. We've, double checked that we're taking out the right stuff. We've created an audit report, and we're now ready to say, let the remediation begin. And for that, we pass the baton, that little thing that looked like the Excel spreadsheet I said looked like a postage stamp, with less than 1% of the information that was in the entire group of syndicated loans. That information gets passed to Appian and say, okay, Appian, let's see what you do with it. So everything that was compressed in that one line from Pendo is now dropped into a box where I think a human being could actually read it. We looked in the center section. We have the full text from that paragraph that I said was central to the conversation. To the right, we have the BAU terms. If LIBOR continues to exist, this is what you agreed to. And then there's that if then not. That second column over is if LIBOR doesn't exist, this is what you agreed to. right? And then we have some transactional information here. It's Biomet, it's the admin agent, it's all the players. And as the admin agent, he's going to look at it and say, and again, I'm not an attorney. In this scenario we're looking, the contract language is tight. We've separated it. Here's what you agreed to. The next thing he's going to do is pass it on to the admin agent or to the primary lender. It's hard enough to do the work that you have to do, but some of the non-value added work of moving paper around and digging through paper and finding LIBOR terms and putting them into buckets and figuring out how to handle them, that is the work that a machine can do for you. So I tried from the beginning to talk about what's unstructured data, the importance of workflow, the importance of curating what you did, the importance of having a sustainable plan. You know, ARCs talk about metrics and PMO and looking at current metrics and looking at, metrics out into the future, that there are automated solutions out there and, manual is just not an option. So thank you. Happy to take questions.